Top Remodel, the next episode in the Chapter 4 for Generation 5. There's a lot of numbers going on here. Don't let it confuse you. But basically, this is the first episode of this season, and I'm all for this season now. Honestly, I'm all for this season. I still have a few more episodes to go, like 5 episodes or whatever else like that to watch. But I'm all for this season now. I'm all for this show now because this really kind of changed my mind about how Generation 5 is going, or at least Chapter 4. Because when I watched the special that kicks off Chapter 4 and everything like that, I was very disappointed. I was left very disappointed because it felt very rushed. It seemed to end very abruptly. All these other issues, I talked about them in a separate video and stuff like that, about my thoughts and things about their Bridal Woodfest special, or Bridal Woodstock special, sorry. And so now, going into this episode, maybe it's because I was looking to be disappointed that I wasn't disappointed. Maybe my expectations were met because they were lowered. I don't know what it was, but I want to talk about some things that I really didn't like about this episode, and then obviously talk about some of the things I liked about it. So starting off with some of the things I didn't like about it, it also still kind of felt rushed. Not in the story, not in any of that regard. I think it was finely paced. I think the pacing was fine. Everything else like that was fine. I think the episode, the story and the writing and everything like that for it was totally fine. I think all of it was perfect, as good as it can be for Generation 5, I suppose. But when I say this episode felt rushed, I'm talking about some of the animation and some of the QA that must have went into this, or rather this QA that didn't go into it, where some of the models felt off some of the times. Not all the time, but some of the models felt off at random times in the episode. The lighting seemed very much off for a large portion of the episode. There is part of the episode near the end or whatever else like that, where Sprout runs in circles around one of them or whatever else like that before running off, and his lighting just got like way darker in that scene for some reason. He just looked way off. He didn't look like how he normally does for some reason. It was really weird. The lighting seemed off about it, and honestly, I don't remember if it was in that scene or earlier on in the episode, but some of the characters did, some of the ways they moved, the animation itself seemed a bit choppy in places. It was very weird. I think Izzy did this at least once or twice, where it seemed like there was no frames in the middle or something, and it just instantly cut to like where her next limb was moved or something. It was weird because like it seemed like one frame her hoof was raised or something, and then the next frame it was like lowered or something. And it was a couple of things like that happened a couple of times that made the animation seem a little bit choppier than I'm used to, at least choppier than the show has been so far, unless I just haven't watched it in so long that I'm not used to it now. But these things aside, I think the episode itself was great. We basically follow the main 5 as they go into the factory where they built these things to protect them from unicorns and Pegasi and stuff like that. And Pip is convinced it's haunted, and she's revealed they reveal that she's like way into these haunted, spooky things and stuff like that. And it's kind of a nice little detail that we get about that character and stuff. And she's super excited about being here and everything like that. Some of the other characters are a little bit spooked out about it because this place was abandoned after the movie because like they don't need it no more. And so this was definitely something that I was interested in right off the bat. Like right after the movie, I was kind of wondering, what are they going to do with that building? And we never really addressed it until now, until finally they've addressed it, and they are looking for what they can do with this building. And that's what they focus on for the whole episode, except some of the time they cut over to Misty and Opaline and stuff like that, and they're trying to figure out what to do. We get a little bit more history and backstory and lore and stuff like that of what happened, which is really nice and everything as well. So yeah, obviously a lot of great stuff in this episode just from that alone. But yeah, I mean, they didn't do this crazy thing where they're building up this big issue for the whole episode and then they solve it in the last 2 minutes or something like that. They kind of didn't really have a main issue or anything like that. Obviously, the main issue was, what are we going to use this building for? And then they go into the towns. They kind of split up. Sunny and Izzy, they go off to the town and ask the people of the city, what do you want the building to be for? Meanwhile, Hitch and Pip stay behind to kind of investigate and see if they can get rid of the spooky ghosts or whatever else like that. Spoiler alert, there's no ghost, obviously. It's just a bunch of mice or rats or whatever else like that. They have wings for some reason in this series. I never understood. They still haven't explained why that is. But anyway, they find some rats, and they also find Sprout, because Sprout is like, I saw you guys come into this building. This is my building. This is my building and stuff like that, because he technically owned it in the movie and stuff like that. So it's interesting to finally see him return and kind of see his perspective on how things have been going and stuff like that. He's still not like fully like a hero or anything like that, obviously. I don't think he ever will be. He's just going to be that kind of like side character that's a bit not evil, but kind of like not good either, just kind of neutral, I guess. Just always looking out for himself, I guess, is the best way to kind of describe how Sprout's most likely going to be written for the rest of the series, if we ever even see him again. I don't know if we will or not. Like I said, this is a pretty good episode. I'm looking forward to seeing the 3rd episode, the 4th episode, and so on. I'm looking forward to seeing these last few episodes and stuff like that, and I'm looking forward to also talking about them and maybe making some theories on what I expect to see happen later on in like the next season or whatever else like that, right? So yeah, let me know in the comments below if you guys have any special critiques that maybe I missed for this episode, and yeah, I'm going to be making videos about this, reviewing each individual episode, and then I'll be making one video after all of that to kind of give my final thoughts on the series as a whole so far. And yeah, maybe I'll make some theories and stuff like that as well. So stay tuned. Please do subscribe. Maybe like this video, share this video around or something like that. And do all those wonderful things like that. Because you do wonderful things like that, not only do you get access to wonderful content such as this, but you also get to become wonderful yourself. And I think we all want that. So do those wonderful things. And until next time, stay wonderful.